Welcome to a journey through the untold stories of football's forgotten legends. These are the players who inspired greatness, defied the odds, and left their mark on the beautiful game. Yet their brilliance often fades from memory. From mesmerizing dribbles to match-winning moments, these legends deserve their rightful place in history. Today, we bring them back into the spotlight. Dive in to rediscover the players who shaped football's legacy in ways you never imagined. Watch until the end, because you might just find your new favorite football hero. Let's start. 20. Michael Laudrup. Michael Laudrup's elegance on the ball and ability to create stunning moments with his vision and technique made him one of the finest players of his era. Yet his name is often forgotten when discussing footballing icon. Michael Laudrup was a key figure in Barcelona's dream team under Johan Cruyff, contributing with his deft touches and exquisite passing. His partnership with Diego Maradona at Barcelona remains one of the most beautiful collaborations in football history. After Barcelona, Laudrup enjoyed successful stints at Juventus, Lazio, and Real Madrid, but his genius was not always recognized by mainstream media. Nonetheless, for those who saw him play, Laudrup's talent was nothing short of magical. His legacy as a football artist who could make the impossible seem simple deserves far more recognition. 19. Clarence Seedorf. Clarence Seedorf is a name that often doesn't get the credit it deserves, despite being one of the most decorated footballers in history. Seedorf is the only player to have won the UEFA Champions League with 3 different clubs: Ajax, Real Madrid, and AC Milan, a feat that speaks volumes about his ability and influence on the pitch. His time at AC Milan, in particular, was marked by his leadership and vital contributions in the midfield. A box-to-box player with immense intelligence, Seedorf could control the tempo of a match with his passing range and work ethic. However, while other stars from his era are often lauded for their glory, Seedorf's contributions are sometimes overlooked, despite his massive impact on every team he played for. 18. Hidetoshi Nakata. Hidetoshi Nakata was Japan's first football superstar, bridging the gap between Eastern and Western football. With his silky touch, vision, and ability to control a game, Nakata played for top clubs such as AS Roma and Parma in Italy. He was instrumental in bringing global recognition to Japanese football, and his performances in Serie A were widely praised. Nakata's flair, coupled with his off-field influence in promoting football in Japan, made him a cultural ambassador of sorts. Despite his obvious talents, his legacy has faded somewhat in the shadow of other players from the same era. Yet, for fans who saw him play, Nakata's genius is undeniable, and his contributions to football deserve more recognition. 17. Paolo Di Canio. Paolo Di Canio's flair and creativity made him one of the most entertaining players of his generation, yet his career is often overlooked. Di Canio's time at clubs like West Ham United and Sheffield Wednesday showcased his exceptional talent, particularly his acrobatic goals and technical skills. The goal he scored against Wimbledon in 2000, an absolute stunner, is still one of the most famous in Premier League history. Despite his eccentricities and controversies, Di Canio's passion, skill, and unique style of play made him a beloved figure among those who appreciated the art of football. His ability to provide moments of magic, particularly his famous volley against Everton in 2000, continues to be a highlight in English football. While his temperament may have led to controversies, it only added to the complex and memorable persona of a man whose footballing genius was often overshadowed by his more mainstream contemporaries. 16. Roberto Ayala. Roberto Ayala was a cornerstone of Argentina's defense during the late 1990s and early 2000s. His intelligence, tactical awareness, and leadership made him a formidable center-back for both club and country. Ayala was a key figure at Valencia, helping them to numerous trophies in the late 90s and early 2000s. Despite his immense talents, Ayala's name is often left out when discussing the top defenders in football history. However, His legacy as one of Argentina's greatest defenders and his consistency at the top level deserve more recognition. 15. Javier Zanetti. Javier Zanetti's career at Inter Milan was one of consistency and brilliance, yet his name often gets lost in the shuffle of modern-day football. As a versatile defender, Zanetti could play anywhere along the back line, and his leadership made him the backbone of Inter Milan's defense for over 2 decades. His commitment to Inter Milan, his ability to provide attacking runs from defense, and his leadership in the 2010 treble-winning season are moments that should be cherished by fans around the world. Yet, Zanetti's importance often goes unnoticed compared to other stars of his era. 14. Lothar Matthäus. Lothar Matthäus is a name that is often forgotten in discussions about football's greatest midfielders, despite his remarkable career. The German legend, who captained his country to victory in the 1990 World Cup, was one of the most complete midfielders of all time. His passing, leadership, and ability to dominate games from midfield were unparalleled. Matthäus's longevity and success with Bayern Munich and Inter Milan were marked by his versatility and ability to perform at the highest level, yet his name doesn't always come up in debates about football's best. 13. Yaya Touré. Yaya Touré was a physical powerhouse and a maestro in midfield, who helped transform Manchester City into a dominant force in English football. His performances in the 2011 to 2012 season, particularly his game-winning goal in the FA Cup final, are still fresh in fans' memories. Touré's ability to control the midfield, break up opposition attacks, and score goals from long range made him a key figure in City's Premier League victories. Yet, despite his tremendous contributions, Touré's name is often overlooked when discussing the best midfielders of the Premier League era. 12. Mario Kempes. Mario Kempes was Argentina's hero in the 1978 World Cup, leading his country to their first-ever World Cup victory with 7 goals, including 2 in the final against the Netherlands. His combination of power, precision, and poise in front of goal made him one of the best strikers of his generation. Despite his legendary status in Argentina and his role in the 1978 World Cup, Kempes's name is often overlooked when discussing football's great strikers. His contribution to Argentina's success and his consistency at the club level are undeniably worthy of greater recognition. 11. David Ginola. David Ginola was a dazzling winger who spent much of his career in the English Premier League, dazzling fans with his silky dribbling and ability to take on defenders. His time at Tottenham Hotspur and Newcastle United saw him become one of the league's most exciting players. Ginola's flamboyant style made him a fan favorite, and his famous solo goal against Leicester City is one of the Premier League's most iconic moments. Despite his brilliance, Ginola's career is often forgotten due to the rise of other stars like Thierry Henry. However, his skill and flair deserve more recognition in the football world. 10. Gianluca Vialli. Gianluca Vialli was a striker who delivered in the biggest moments, leading Sampdoria to a Serie A title and Juventus to European glory. His technical skills, leadership, and ability to score goals made him a hero for club and country. However, despite his incredible achievements, Vialli's legacy is sometimes overshadowed by the more famous Italian strikers of his generation, such as Roberto Baggio and Alessandro Del Piero. Yet, for those who watched him play, Vialli's contributions to Italian football and his work ethic make him a forgotten legend who deserves far more recognition. 9. Fernando Redondo. Fernando Redondo was a player who epitomized elegance and class in midfield. His ability to control the tempo of a game and his unmatched dribbling skills were central to the success of Real Madrid during the late 1990s. He wasn't the type of player to grab the headlines, but Redondo's importance to his team was undeniable. His pass to set up a goal for Real Madrid in the 2000 Champions League final against Valencia was a moment of pure genius. Despite this, Redondo remains one of the most underrated players in history, his brilliance often overlooked by the more flamboyant stars of his time. 8. Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard's brilliance is often overshadowed by his flashy counterparts, but the England midfielder's consistency and work ethic were unparalleled. With over 200 goals for Chelsea, Lampard was a box-to-box midfielder who could score from anywhere on the pitch. His intelligence, leadership, and contributions to Chelsea's dominant years in the Premier League and Europe are monumental. He led Chelsea to the 2012 Champions League title and was consistently among the league's top scorers, making him one of the most prolific midfielders in Premier League history. Yet, despite his incredible numbers, Lampard's understated brilliance often goes unappreciated, especially when compared to other attacking stars of his era. 7. Edgar Davids. Edgar Davids was known as the Pitbull for his aggressive play and relentless pursuit of the ball. His time at Ajax, Juventus, and Barcelona showcased his versatility in midfield. A tenacious tackler, an intelligent passer, and a fearless leader, Davids was the heartbeat of every team he played for. His dynamic performances helped lead Ajax to multiple Eredivisie titles, and his leadership played a key role in Juventus's Serie A successes. Yet, Davids's name often doesn't come up when talking about the elite midfielders of his time, overshadowed by the likes of Zinedine Zidane and Patrick Vieira. However, for those who remember, Davids's performances remain etched in the memories of those who saw him dominate the midfield. 6. J.J. Okocha. Nigeria's J.J. Okocha was a magician on the ball, often compared to the likes of Ronaldinho for his flair and dazzling dribbles. Okocha's time in the Premier League with Bolton Wanderers saw him produce some of the most mesmerizing moments in English football. His goal against Krzysztof Kotarowski for the 2004 FA Cup is still remembered as one of the greatest individual goals ever scored. With his creativity, balance, and ability to turn defenders inside out, Okocha's brilliance was undeniable. Despite his immense talent, however, Okocha often found himself overshadowed by bigger names. His impact on Nigerian football and the Premier League, however, is unforgettable. Okocha's contributions to football make him a true legend deserving of more recognition. 5. Davor Šuker is one of the greatest forwards to ever come out of Croatia, yet his name doesn't always pop up when discussing the greats of the 1990s and early 2000s. Šuker was the star of Croatia's incredible third-place finish in the 1998 World Cup, finishing as the tournament's top scorer with 6 goals. His clinical finishing and smart movement in the box made him a constant threat, whether it was for Real Madrid, Sevilla, or his national team. Unfortunately, his career has been overshadowed by contemporaries such as Ronaldo Nazario and Thierry Henry. Yet, for those who remember, Šuker's talent was undeniable. He was a goal-scoring machine, and his contribution to Croatia's golden generation remains one of football's most beautiful stories. 4. Claude Makélélé. Claude Makélélé might not have been the flashiest player on the pitch, but his role was crucial to every team he played for. As the midfield destroyer for Real Madrid and Chelsea, Makélélé was the unsung hero. His ability to break up play, read the game, and distribute the ball with simple efficiency made him a key figure in Chelsea's 2005 Premier League title win. His understated yet vital contributions often went unnoticed, especially when compared to more attacking players. However, the football world soon realized the importance of Makélélé's role when his absence from Chelsea's midfield showed just how irreplaceable he was. Often referred to as the player who defined a generation of midfielders, his legacy is undeniable. Yet, despite his influence on the modern defensive midfielder role, Makélélé remains criminally underrated. 3. Roberto Baggio. The name Roberto Baggio will forever be associated with greatness, but also with a tragic penalty miss in the 1994 World Cup final that led to Italy's defeat. However, to focus solely on that moment would be to forget the career of one of Italy's most gifted playmakers. Baggio's dribbling, vision, and finesse on the ball were second to none. He carried Italy on his shoulders during the 1990s with a style of play that blended technical mastery and sheer creativity. His time at Juventus and AC Milan, as well as his surprising stint at Bologna, showcased his talent in full bloom. Despite being overshadowed by other legends, Baggio remains one of the most adored figures in Italian football, a true artist who created footballing poetry with every touch. After 3 days of hard work on this video, I'm dedicated to bringing you the best content. If you appreciate the effort, hit subscribe and inspire me. Second, Ryan Giggs. Though many might think of Ryan Giggs as one of the best, his legacy often takes a backseat when compared to other Premier League legends. A one-club man with Manchester United, Giggs was the epitome of consistency. His ability to go past defenders with ease and create match-winning moments in almost every season for over 2 decades is often underrated. Who can forget his iconic solo goal in the 1999 FA Cup against Arsenal? His dribbling, passing, and leadership were central to Manchester United's dominance under Sir Alex Ferguson. Yet, with the spotlight often on other stars like Cristiano Ronaldo and Paul Scholes, Giggs' monumental contributions sometimes go unrecognized. To football fans, Giggs is much more than just a club legend. He's an institution in English football, and his brilliance deserves more praise than he often receives. First, George Weah. George Weah is a name that many remember, but he deserves more acknowledgement, especially considering his status as one of the few players to win the Ballon d'Or while playing outside Europe. The Liberian forward made history by securing the prestigious award in 1995. Weah's incredible speed, strength, and finishing abilities led him to be one of Africa's greatest footballing exports. His career at clubs like AS Monaco, Paris Saint-Germain, and AC Milan was marked with brilliance, but it was his time with Liberia that cemented his legacy. Despite limited international success due to his country's lack of footballing infrastructure, Weah's work ethic and commitment to his national team have earned him the admiration of millions. Today, he is not only celebrated as a football legend, but also as the president of Liberia, a testament to his status and influence. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe our channel.